Welcome back if you're returning. We've got a lot going on today. We've got the laundry room makeover, but we're starting with a bit of a thrift haul. This has been the last few weeks. I've been picking up bits and bobs, mainly for the laundry room, but I got a couple of little things that I've sort of picked up along the way that are for various times of the year. Always pick up little notions and stuff. I thought this would be perfect just to embellish things. This Wildwood Imperium just looked like a lovely little book for the kids. We can add it into the library anyway, but it always reminds me of when you see these lovely books with the maps in the front. It reminds me of Winnie the Pooh. I used to love reading that when I was a kid. So I picked that up. That's going in the library. Also picked up this lovely rose little shelf. This is going up in the laundry room. I always like to pick these up. I think they look really nice when you're putting an art wall together. Just to put something on, whether it's a candlestick or a little piece of objet d'art. This, it always looks nice on these little shelves. These were a great find. They're brass. They were $2.50 each. Those are going in the laundry room. I've got to give them a good clean. I'm going to use, the only time I use ketchup is when I'm cleaning my brass. Also picked up this lovely little print. It was 50 cents and I thought it would be really cool for Halloween. It's just like a broomstick and a little table and a little broom hanging on the wall. I just thought it was very subtle, very cute. So that's sticking around for Halloween. I grabbed these little tongs, 50 cents. I always grab these. I find they come in very, very handy around the house. When handling food, I use them a lot and I have them in lots of different sizes. I've been to 2 sales this year, Christmas in July. These were from the thrift store, brand new, never been opened. They were $2. I got them for 50% off, so I spent $1. I picked up this little pocket change machine and I thought this would be perfect for the laundry room. I don't know about you, but everyone I ever do laundry for leaves change in their pockets. So this is a perfect place to put it, and it's like a tip. They're tipping me for doing their laundry. I don't tip very well, but never mind. This bag of vintage gloves I've had for quite a while. Those are going to be going up in the laundry room as well. I've been waiting to put them up somewhere and display them. $7.99. This was a second little container that I picked up. I've got a few of my own. I've used one in the laundry room. This is going to have the fabric softener in it. The liquid fabric softener, I should say. This is also going in the laundry room. It's a bit of a kitchen as well up there because the kids used to use it when they were upstairs. So I thought, I will be having a cup of tea up there on occasion, so this is perfect to keep up there. This was a heck of a find. This is the most beautiful blue velvet. It is wired, it is thick, it is sumptuous. So that will be going in my Christmas decor this year, and it was $5.99. I don't know how much that would have cost new. I don't care. I got it for $5.99 and that's going to be all over my house this Christmas. So that was a great find. I was really pleased with that. Again, a few things I picked up for Christmas in July. This was great. So a little store, it was quite a big garden store actually in our town. It's been in business for 80 years. And COVID has got them finally, and they are closing down. So the day I went in, it was 75% off all these greens. So I got 4 branches. That I got the last 4, 2 of each, and these are very realistic. I think they're just beautiful. Again, not badly priced to start with, but I got them for $2.50 each. So those were fantastic. I wish I'd have been able to get some more. Like I said, I've got 2 of each, and that will be great for decor around the house this Christmas. I also went with this retro glittery piece. I just couldn't leave these behind. These were a little bit more expensive, originally $14.99, but I got them for 75% off. I thought they are so retro with the little balls on the end. I'm not sure where I'm going to be using them yet, but I just couldn't leave them behind, and I got the last 2 of those, so I was very pleased with that whole purchase. Again, this place has been open for it's 80 years, and because of COVID and a land deal that just the prices of everything have gone up, they will be closing. It's just so sad. I also picked up this for $3. It is a whole bunch of trim, and it is beautiful. It's luxurious. It's very similar to the trim that I picked up a piece that I put around one of my couches. So I'm looking forward to using this, and I think I know what I'm going to be doing with this beautiful trim, because I also found some curtains. I'll show you in a minute. I picked this up. This was $1. I've got a lot of green leafy stuff, and I thought I can either put this on a wall or make some art out of it. I thought it would be really cool. I mean, I remember doing this in the 90s, and I used to love stenciling. This is a little throw blanket that I'm going to be putting on one of the beds over Christmas, when I put my Christmas decor out and about. Again, this was Christmas in July, so this was 50% off, so I got this for $1.50. And I also found a really nice pair of velvet curtains. These are Martha Stewart in this lovely beigey colour, $5.99 each panel. They're not terribly wide, but they are beautiful quality. And I thought this whole colour scheme with these curtains added to the trim on a bed with the this little quilt, it's going to look so pretty. So I'm looking forward to doing that in one of my rooms over Christmas. Oh, I wanted to mention this. I found this shelf, and I'm going to be moving my office again. We'll go more into that next week, but this is perfect for my new office because it goes with the little one that I have on my desk at the moment, and it's just right, just my style. I think it's just lovely. So I'm looking forward to doing that in the new little office that I'm going to be having upstairs. This is one of those things that you never see, and I knew I wanted one to put upstairs in the laundry room. I just happened to go into my local thrift store, and there it was. So pleased with this. It was only $10. It's really cute. It's a proper old one with the glass little ridges, and it's not terribly large, but it is perfect for what I needed. So I was very pleased with that little item. So that's the thrift haul for the laundry room. I'm also going to be shopping my house, but I've cleared the room. Basically, I've cleared everything out. I've given everything a light sanding because everything is going to be white. I just think there's something so heavenly about an all white room, and I love colour. I mean, I love colour everywhere, but in a laundry room, it's very simple, and it's also very retro, I believe, these white, old white laundry rooms. It's like everything's covered in a blanket of snow. So anyway, I've used 3 or 4 different whites in this, 3 whites altogether in this room. I've done the upper cabinets in one shade, the lower cabinets in another, and then the backsplash I wallpapered, and I've done that in another shade. So it's all just slightly different. It looks like it's shadowed, but it's just nice to rather than have everything exactly the same colour, the same white. It just looks nice. It's like I said, it's like shadows, and the way the light hits it, you don't know if it's the light or a different shade of white. So that's why I've changed the whites out in the room and painted the cabinets, the uppers, and the backsplash. So this is the little shelf on the back of the cabinets on the countertop. I did this in the same white as the uppers, and I've done this on both sides. I also had some little glass knobs that I'd been saving. I've had them in my stash for a little while, but they weren't right for the room, so I decided to go with an old-fashioned type and just painted them black. So as everyone knows, we're doing this rental property on a shoestring budget, and I wanted to do just something different on the backsplash. I didn't want a tile, but I didn't want to use a regular wallpaper. So what I did was I got two textured wallpapers. One's a stripe and one's like a tile. It was actually the one that I used on the stairs. So I've cut them up and sort of joined them together and made a tile and a striped wallpaper. And you can see here I've got a panel, which is the tile, and then I'm adding the stripe, and I'm repeating this all around the room. And then I'm going to paint this once it's dry with another off-white. This was like a pinky white, and that'll give again another element to the room, which it keeps it all nice, clean and fresh, but it's just a little bit different, and again very, very budget conscious. So what I'm doing here, I've measured the distance of the backsplash, and I'm pre-cutting all the little pieces that I'm going to be needing. While I've got the wallpaper paste out, it's easier to do them all at one go. And you can see I'm sort of matching them from the bottom and then cutting away the top. So I've pasted the wall, and then I paste the back of the paper and then place them. So I have a row of tile, and then the stripe, and then the tile, and then the stripe, and it all goes up very easily. It's very straightforward. Just make sure, like any other wallpapering job, just make sure all the bubbles are out and everything is nice and flat. When you're doing any wallpapering, but especially when you're sort of matching them the way I have, you have to take particular care with the seams. So that's one side of the wall is basically done. Now we have to go to the other side. This is a mess. When we moved into this second part of the house, which was the upstairs, this had been the kitchen, and it was disgusting. It was such a mess. It was awful. So when we got the choice to take on the upstairs, we said, can we tear this out and turn it into a laundry room? Obviously, because the deal was we were turning it back into a single family home as opposed to rented apartment upstairs, because of obviously the issues they'd had with the previous renters. So because it's a very old house and the lath and plaster, it was, when we took the cupboards out, it was just a mess. They had kicked holes in the wall anyway, but we had a lot of patching to do. Rather than, if it was our house, we'd have torn the whole bloody thing down and started again. But because it's not, we did a lot of patching and moving things around to get what we wanted. These tiles were the weirdest tiles I've ever seen. They didn't, some of them came off really easily. Most of them came off with just a little pop of the corner, and they just popped right off. So we had a lot of patching to do. We cut a big square out of the wall and put a big piece of drywall in, and then repaired all the little holes that were made in the wall by screws and the screw whatever. So we went back and sanded the wall down so it was all smooth, and obviously all the drywall was sanded, and it was a nice smooth surface to wallpaper. So once it was all dry, I did the same backsplash as I'd done the other side of the room, and then there was a nice big piece of wall that I just did with the striped wallpaper, and then painted it all in the same off-white that I'd done the rest of the backsplash, and we were ready to go. I picked up this little shelf for $2. It's very similar to the one that I'd done last week. I wanted a few different shelves on the wall, so this one is ready to go. It's just going to be patched a little bit, and then I had another one which was my existing shelf that I just painted up with all the same colours, so that there was a continuity with all the shelves. They weren't all exactly the same, but they all had the same colour. This little shelf used to be in the bathroom downstairs. It had some decorative little pieces on it, so I broke them off, and I had some little brown pieces that were, you could see there, like carved wood. So I wanted to add those in, which I thought would look better with the look that I was going for. So again, I gave it one coat of the same chalk paint, and then I'm just going to add in these little shelf brackets once it's up on the wall. So these were the handles that we picked up. We picked up a whole bunch of them for like $5, and they were silver and they were gold. So I decided to, rather than tape them off and get a spray can, I had some black metal paint, gloss, and then I just painted everything in the same black colour. I gave them 2 coats, and they all covered the gold and it covered the silver, and they all look so much better. So as you can see, this is the first layer that I've given them, and they've got a really nice gloss on them, and it was so much quicker than taping everything off, spraying it. Sometimes, you know, I didn't want to spend any money, or spend as little money as possible. So this was a really good way of using what I've got, and you know, coming up with the result that I needed. So everything's getting close to being finished. My husband just cut the hole for the sink, and then there's a little place there for the laundry, water supply and waste thing. So I'm going to cover that up afterwards, but that's I'll show you that later. I had a piece of non-slip fabric. I've traced the shape of the bottles, cut it so that it'll fit underneath the little bottles, so that when I'm using my laundry detergent and my fabric softener, when it's on the shelf, it won't slip around. I wanted a little lamp in the laundry room. This was one I had. It had a bit of damage on it, so I took it apart, gave it a new respray, and it was perfect and ready to go. So this was my interpretation of those designer animal heads. You know, you see them with the monocles and the moustaches. So I just sprayed everything gold and stuck it on, and well, you'll see how it looks in the room. So if you remember, this is what it looked like 2 weeks ago. It had turned into a dumping ground. It was kitchen for the kids upstairs, and it was the laundry room, but everything just got dumped into it all the time. It was a bit of a nightmare. Now the kids are both gone, so we are rearranging upstairs, and the first room to be rearranged is this laundry room. So it's a bit of a multifunctional room, but hopefully it's, well, you'll see it's a bit better than it was. So I'm just warning you now, it is probably about 95% done, but I wanted to get this video done for this weekend as I'd promised it. So there are a few things still left to be done, but basically it's finished. Again, like I said, we're making do with a lot of the stuff that we can't replace. We've had to do sort of on the cheap because I didn't want to spend any of our money, but it's gone from a bit of a disaster to a really, I think it's a proper old world laundry room with hanging racks for your laundry and places to put everything. So I'm really pleased with how it's turned out. Again, keeping it nice and bright. There's only one little window in this room, so and one overhead light. That's why I added the little lamp. But it's great now. It's very functional and it is perfect for my needs. So there's my little tea corner. This place is, the space is very multifunctional. It's a laundry room primarily, but it is also a kitchen. We have a little cooktop that can be used and all sorts in the cupboards. I've also got my bit of a craft area there. I've got my Cricut there, and the baskets are full of all my material. So it is going to be a bit of a multifunctional room. It was nice to get my little gloves displayed. They look so pretty on there. That's also going to be used for hanging lingerie and things like that. This little rack is the one that folds up onto the wall, and it is good for hanging things that need to be dried flat. I do have lots of clothes that can't go into the dryer, so it's a really nice thing to have somewhere to hang them, put them flat, you know, lay them over the stuff, and they're all out of the way. So that's really great. This is full of my materials. I've got these two and another couple, so it's lovely to have those at hand as well, because I'm always making stuff, always using them, and it's perfect to have everything at your fingertips. I have gone with a kind of a nautical theme, nautical and butterflies, I think, in this room. I have a lot of ship paintings and pictures, and I've also ordered a few extra ones off Etsy, just the ones that you print yourself. And this week I'm going to be looking for some frames in my own stash and thrifting, and put a few more pictures up on the wall. And show you that next time. That's one of the little cloches that I made. If you remember the other week I had my cloche video, but I was inspired by the curtains that I had. I found a pair of curtains quite a while ago thrifting, and they have a seaside theme with the boats, and now that they're up, I'm not sure if I'm going to be keeping them, but I did like the idea of them, and especially because that was the kicking off point for the whole room. So you can see there, that's the drying rack, and it's attached to the blackboard, and that goes up and down. You can load it and then pull it back up out of the way. This blackboard I made, it was just a piece of board that we put up to cover like a big hole in the wall. It was like a pass through, so I thought a blackboard would be perfect. It was a board, I painted it with the blackboard paint. This little desk is an old Singer sewing machine base, and then there's a piece of marble that I actually had up in my last house in the kitchen, but we brought it with us because we changed the configuration of the kitchen. But it's perfect for the little Cricut machine. There's a little basket on the side that holds all the little bits that I need, and I just use those two little candle holders each side of the blackboard. You can just see it's so light and airy in there. It's such a lovely space now. So I still have a little bit of patching and trim paint to do. There's a couple of areas that still need to be painted. I'm looking for a door at the moment. It's half glass. There is my little monocle deer. I'm really pleased with how he turned out with my little butterflies. And like I said, I might change the curtains out. I put them up. I didn't iron them. I put them up to see how they were, and I quite liked them. But if I go through my material and find a better pair, I might put them up. But for the moment, it is mostly done. Like I said, there's a few things left to be done, but it's so much better than it was, and I'm really pleased with it. So this little guy, I got him for $3, and then I had the spray paint. The ring was an old curtain ring, and the chain was off an old necklace. So again, I think they cost about $80 in the stores. These are the curtains that I picked up, and this was the base for the whole room. I do love them. I'm just not sure about them in the space. So I've also been going through my boxes, and I did pull out some of my little gold books. I've been doing this for years, taking different little books and spraying them gold or gold leafing them and using them as risers at Christmas, mainly at Christmas. But I thought I'd get them out and add a little spot of glitter in the room. Again, like I said, I've got a few of them and they're all different shades of gold, and they always look so nice, especially at the Christmas season. Well, that's it. That's my laundry room makeover. As I add things to it over the next few weeks, I will certainly film that and let you know. I will also be changing things around upstairs now because I have 3 extra rooms that I can decorate. So look out for those videos, and again a bit of an update next week on the house in France. So thanks so much for watching. I'm so glad you could follow my laundry room journey, and have a happy and healthy week, and we'll see you next week.